Hello everyone, my name is Hannah. Welcome to a new video. Today's video is going to be my summer book haul. So all of the books that I got in June, July, and August. So some of the books that I have bought over the last 3 months, I have either read and didn't like or have decided to unhaul, or I DNF'd them or something like that. So some of the books that I have bought, I've since gotten rid of, and I'm not going to be mentioning them in this video, but these are all of the books that I have bought recently that I've kept over the last 3 months. There's not really any rhyme or reason to this. I'm just going to start grabbing books off of the stack and letting you know about them. So let's start off with, by far and away, the most exciting book that I got over the summer, and that is this copy of Manacled by Sen-Lin Yu. This is a Hermione fanfic, which if you've been watching my channel, you know that I have just read and absolutely love this book and fanfic in general. This was so kindly made for me and gifted to me by my friend Mel over at Mel Binds Fix. She reached out when she heard me talking about how much I love Manacled and was like, I can make you a hardcover copy of it if you want. And I was like, oh my god, yes please, because you can't really get physical copies of fanfics unless somebody hand makes it for you, and Mel so graciously handmade this for me and gifted this to me, and it's got so much time and care and love in it. I love the story like a crazy amount, and it's so beautiful. I can't. I have a vlog where I unboxed this and cried. If you wanted to go watch that, it's somewhere on my channel. But yeah, the detail in this, like, she designed the covers, like the dust jacket with the maze in the background. It's just so beautiful. It's got a ribbon bookmark with a little paper crane charm, which is significant to the book, and like the end pages. I mean, I still can't believe that Mel just like made this for me and gifted it to me. She is so kind and just so talented. And then the naked book itself is also just so beautiful. Yeah, so definitely that is the best book that it's gonna be my best like book that I've bought or received all year in my life, honestly, because it's so special that somebody took the time out of their day to hand make a copy for me, because otherwise I would never have a physical copy of it, and it just blows me away. So thank you so much, Mel, for gifting me this. I will never get over your kindness, and I love it so much. All right, next up I have Fallen Stars by Imani Eru. This is the second book. The first book is Heavenly Bodies, which I read in July, I think, but I must have bought it in May because it was not on my list. If I'm being honest, I don't remember if I've hauled this one yet or not, but if I haven't, here it is. So these are these two books in this series. It is a celestial fantasy romance. It's one of the best fantasy romances that I've ever read. I'm still currently reading this one, so you'll be hearing my thoughts on this one in a vlog coming very soon. And the third book comes out in October, so I'm really excited for that. It's gonna be like a red cover too, which is just so stunning, and I just want everybody to read these. So yeah, I got these two. Next up, I got Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. So Ali Hazelwood's newest release. I have read and loved basically everything that I have read from Ali Hazelwood. There was one novella that I didn't like, but everything else I really loved. And so she is an auto-buy author for me. I will pick up anything that she writes. Although I do know that she's coming out with a YA romance, which I've not been like feeling YA very much, but if I'm ever in the mood for a YA romance, you better believe I'm gonna pick up Ali Hazelwood's. But she also has a like vampire romance coming out next year, which I'm really excited for. But yeah, her like STEMinist books, I just love them so much, so I definitely had to pick up her new release. Then I have the Fiance Farce by Alexandria Belfour. I got this off of Pango because I read the Written in the Stars trilogy by this author, and I really love them, and so I've been meaning to get to this one, and I just haven't been in a like romancy mood, but I have read it. This is not a wrap up, but I have read this. I bought it and I was like, let me just give this a go, and I listened to the audio, which is also really good. But yeah, I'm glad I found this on Pango, and it's in like excellent condition. This is another like auto buy romance author for me. I will pick up anything that this author comes out out with because I just really like how they write romance. The next book I got was the 4th volume of Lore Olympus, which is one of my favorite graphic novel series. I read the first one last year. I think I had the 2nd volume on my 23 books to read in 2023 list, and so I decided to pick it up for a 24-hour readathon, and I got that one and the 3rd one together. And so then I just decided to reread the 1st one, read the 2nd one, read the 3rd one, and I just had the best time with it. So I had to pick up the 4th one as soon as it came out. I think I read these right around when this one got published. And then I pre-ordered the 5th one, which comes out in October. And yeah, I just love like the art style and like how colorful it is. And like, I just really like how the story of like the Greek gods is being portrayed in this. Like, I like how this retelling is told because it's still like the same kind of like stories that you already know, but like it's told in a different way. And I really, really like it. But yeah, the colors in this, it's just so stunning. I know you can read this for free on like webtoons, but I just really like having the physical copies, so I got the 4th volume. Another book that was on my 23 books to read in 2023 was The Witch Collector by Sharissa Weeks, and I've been meaning to read this one for so long. It's been recommended to me a few times, and I actually did start it. I'm like 20 pages in. I just haven't continued because I did not like the audiobook, and that's where I stopped with the audiobook. But I do really want to read this one. I know it has like a wintry feel to it, so like I might just wait until like November time to read it. I do plan to read it this year, but at the time I like bought the copy because I intended to read it right then, but then I just started picking up other things. Like, I will read this. I need to read it this year because it was on my list, but I do have the copy and it's sitting on my TBR cart just looking at me, so I will read this soon. Next up, I have another fantasy romance that I was highly anticipating, and that was The Curse of Saints by Kate Dramis. Kate Dramis, her like Instagram reels were popping up in my suggested feed, and everything that she was putting out about this book, I was like, that sounds stunning. That sounds like exactly my kind of book. And so I pre-ordered it, and it finally came in the mail, and I haven't read it yet. I do have the audiobook for this one as well, which I am hoping is really good, but I know that a lot of people are picking this up, and so I feel like I'm gonna want to be reading this in the next like couple weeks or so. But yeah, I'm really excited to have the physical copy of it. I'm glad that it's a paperback. I really like this paperback. The next book I have here is Lotus by Jennifer Hartman. This is the same author as the book Still Beating, which I read a few months ago and I absolutely loved it. And the character, like the main character in this, Oliver, is mentioned in Still Beating. It's not like a companion at all to it, but the character is mentioned. And so I bought this immediately because I thought that the original covers were going to go away, because I know that Still Beating's original cover is going to go away. So I bought this right away because I really do want to read it, and I just haven't gotten to it yet, but I think this is so pretty. I love the lotus flower on it. But yeah, I just like bought it immediately after finishing Still Beating and knowing that I loved that one, and I've heard really good things about this one, so I'm glad that I have this. I don't know if the cover is going to change or not, but regardless, I'm glad that I have this and that it matches Still Beating. Next up, I have Bring Me Your Midnight by Rachel Griffin. This is her newest release. She writes like really witchy kind of YA books, and I read and loved the first two. I was highly anticipating this one, and if you get like the first edition printing of it, it comes with like a special printing on the hard case, so like this will go away eventually. But yeah, I just think it's so beautiful. So I pre-ordered this. Oh, and the end pages. So it has the map on the first end page, and then there's art on the back end page. So yeah, I pre-ordered this one because I definitely wanted the special art on the hardcover case, because that's what I have the other two in, and I just know that I really like Rachel Griffin's writing, so had to pre-order that. Next up, I have The Only One Left by Riley Sager, which is a Book of the Month book. So I got this for my add-on for my birthday month because I was a Book of the Month BFF, but I've since canceled my subscription to Book of the Month. But I got this book for free, so I thought might as well, because I do really love Riley Sager's thrillers. I've only not enjoyed one, and that was The House Across the Lake. Every other Riley Sager I've given 4 or 5 stars to because I really love them. And so I've heard good things about this one. I've heard that it's definitely better than The House Across the Lake, which is the one that I didn't like. I'm really happy that I was able to get this for free from Book of the Month. Next up, I have a box set here, and that is the Shatter Me series by Tahereh Mafi. So back in the day, I read the original 3 books, and then I think she went on like a writing hiatus for like 5 years. And then she started coming out with the rest of the books. And so I was like not in the mindset to pick those up at the time, but I have seen people starting to reread the series, and I'm like, oh, I want to reread those 3 and then finish the series. So I bought the box set for very cheap. It was like $30 for all 6 books. It doesn't come with the novellas, but I'm sure I can find them like on ebook or get them from my library or something, because I don't need to own those, but I've got the box set now. All right, next up is going to be the books that I got on my booktube besties trip when I went to meet up with all of my best friends in Minnesota. The first book I have here is Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater, which I got from the first half price books that Lachlan and Cami and I went to. This was Katie is Reading's Patreon book club pick at one point, and I wasn't able to get to it, but I heard amazing things about it. It's like a Regency fairy tale is what they call it. And I was really in the mood for it. I feel like if you liked the Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, you would really like this one, because I really enjoyed it. I thought the romance was super cute. It's definitely like a fun, cute time. So I'm glad that I picked that one up from half price. And then I was also able to find the first 2 books in the Shades of Magic series by V.E. Schwab in paperback with the original covers, which are out of print now. And I had the hardcovers, but I've been replacing some of my hardcover books with paperbacks because I just prefer paperbacks. And yeah, I've just been replacing a lot of my books. You'll see the next books are all going to be like books that I'm replacing the hardcovers with paperbacks, but I found these for really cheap and the out of print covers, which is what I wanted. So I was really happy about that because they were only $9 each. And then at a random indie bookstore, I found the 3rd book. It was the only copy of the book, and it's out of print, so it was weird that they had it. I thought that I was gonna have to buy it used somewhere, but they had just the 3rd book. They didn't have any others in the series. It was so like random, and it felt like fate, so I had to buy it. So I have the whole Shades of Magic series that I got on that BookTube Besties trip, which was just like kismet. So I'm very happy about that. And then the other book that I got on my BookTube Besties trip was a copy of A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. I actually don't have this edition, this paperback with the new covers, the super bright green cover, but I bought this because we were all... I miss them so much. We were all signing each other's books, like yearbooks, and so I wanted to get a copy of A Court of Mist and Fury for everyone to sign since it's my favorite book. And I got it from Majors and Quinn, which is a very cute indie bookstore in Minneapolis. So yeah, absolutely cherish this, would save this book in a fire. So I miss my friends so much. Okay, these next ones, I'm just gonna like rapid fire go through them because I love these books. I had these books in hardcover and I just chose to replace them with the paperbacks. So let's get into those. First up, I have the Strange the Dreamer duology by Laini Taylor. I just prefer these covers and they're nice to have the paperbacks. I'm gonna do a reread of these soon and annotate in them. I didn't really care for the hardcover covers, like the cover style of them. And so when I was like, oh, I should replace some of my books, I was like, oh, those ones gotta go because the paperbacks, so much prettier. Same goes for these next 2. It is Once Upon a Broken Heart and The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber. I had the Barnes & Noble exclusive hardcovers of those, and I just feel like the US hardcovers did not fit the vibe of the book. Like the colors were really pretty. It was like a super cute like rose gold on the first one, and then a really pretty like light pastel purple on the second one. But these covers, first of all, they're stunning, but they fit the vibe of the story so much better, and like there's gold foiling on them, and they're just so pretty. And they're paperback, which to me is just a improvement, and I'm really happy to have these because I think these covers are gorgeous. And then because I was reading Once Upon a Broken Heart and I was like, well, the first time I read Once Upon a Broken Heart, I didn't like Evangeline, and I still pretty much don't. Like, she is not my favorite, but she's far less annoying on the reread for me, and I think that's because I'm not listening to the audio. And so I decided to get the box set of the Carval trilogy, which I read and was like, I'll never reread this, but I read them on audio, and I really do love Stephanie Garber's writing. And I was just like thinking about this series and like how much fun the story was, and like just because like the main character Scarlett in the first book, I feel like that will change on the reread for me, and because I won't listen to the audio for it. I feel like the audio was the downfall for these books. I don't know. I don't have to justify it. I just wanted to have them again, so I got the paperback box set. And then the last two here, again, are replacements. So it is The Night Circus and The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. So I got these because, first of all, again, I love these covers and I wanted them in paperbacks. I don't like the US cover of the paperback of Starless Sea. I just don't feel like it fits the story at all. This fits the story much better in my opinion. And Brandon still has the hardcovers on his shelves, so it's not like I don't have them anymore. They're just like, they're not technically mine, they're Brandon's. But I have the paperbacks now, which is what I far prefer, and I just think these are so stunning. I think the spines are really beautiful when they're side by side on the shelf, and I'm just really happy to have these stunning, gorgeous copies. So yeah, those are all of the books that I have hauled over the summer months, June, July, and August. I do have a birthday coming up in less than a week, and so I'm gonna have a separate video of like my birthday book haul. So that should be coming probably right after this video. So it'll probably be a little bit shorter, but I'll show things that I got other than just books. This I just wanted to keep to just the books that I got over the summer. So it wasn't terrible. Like, I'm looking at the stack, like that's not too bad for 3 months, and half of these are replacement books. But I will say I did unhaul probably like a third of the books that I hauled over the summer because I just didn't want them anymore, or I read them and DNF'd them or whatever. But yeah, those are all of the books that I got. Let me know down below if you prefer paperbacks or hardcovers. I am a paperback bitch now. Like, I just prefer paperbacks, and I'm having a really fun time replacing all of my books with paperback copies. And yeah, let me know which you prefer, because like I used to be a hardcover girly, but no longer. But thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you made it to the end of the video, you can leave the pink sparkly heart emoji for Once Upon a Broken Heart, because it's pink and sparkly and pretty. And thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. And I will see you all in my next one. Bye.